My name is Ginny Van Alyea, and I studied for one semester in the spring of 2001 at the University of Glasgow. And today I live in Chicago, and I publish a magazine about art called Chicago Gallery News. I started working at Chicago Gallery News in Chicago a couple months after I graduated from college in 2002. And I had connected with an alumna who graduated, I think, about 10 years ahead of me. She was in New York, and I didn't end up wanting to go to work in New York. And she said, but my mom does publishing, and she publishes an art magazine in Chicago. So call her. So I called her mom, I found the magazine, and her mom said, oh, well, Tracy told me all about you. Why don't you come work for me a couple days a week while you figure out what you want to do? And that was almost 24 years ago. I worked for her for 5 years, and then when she retired in 2007, I took over the magazine from her and became a publisher at 27, and it's been an adventure ever since. I came to Glasgow on a study abroad program. I wanted to take some courses that were a fit with my major from home. I had the opportunity to study English literature and also take a photography course at the Glasgow School of Art. I think my time in Glasgow just gave me a wider experience of having different professors at two different schools and a different opportunity, and to also be in a city with its own art community. That is something that I have really developed ever since, because I am in a large United States city with a huge creative economy. Overall, just having the opportunity to spend time in Scotland and Glasgow in particular was an amazing opportunity. Being an English major, I think, gives you a lot of opportunities. If you can read and write and communicate well, then you could go into law, you could go into publishing, you could go into teaching, you could go into anything that's going to need you to sort of read and write and think critically. I continue to go back to my education with English literature, and I try and say this to my own kids about how important it is to read. You will have to, analyze and think critically and use that information. You need it in the arts like you need it for anything else. You need to be an educated, knowledgeable person. And if you are, and if you pay attention, I think you'll always do well. English literature has been around for a long time. There is so much, you'll never get through all of it. So it's a never-ending source of knowledge, which I still really enjoy. I enjoyed my classes at Glasgow, but the free time I had, I was enjoying the city. I was walking everywhere. I was going from the West End to the other end of the city. I was exploring the pubs, finding live music. I had a wonderful time just navigating a city on my own for the first time. Glasgow was also so welcoming to me. People I met who were local were so happy that I had picked Glasgow to be, and that was really a warm feeling that made me just excited to spend as much time there as possible. I've been back to Glasgow several times since I spent my semester there. The most recent visit was 3 years ago, and it was amazing to see the campus expansion, the space for the research buildings. The James McEwen Smith building was awesome with the design element, and it was so warm, but it was the center of campus. It was really neat to walk by. I know my kids were impressed by it because it just seemed like such a modern addition to such an ancient campus, which is something that we don't have in the United States. Nothing is as old as Glasgow University. There was so much about the campus of Glasgow University that was really wonderful to spend time in, and I loved being in the West End as well, popping into the Hunterian Art Gallery and Museum, as well as Kelvin Grove. And when we took our family back a few years ago, the kids still marveled at some of the artifacts and the historic elements that were on display, as well as contemporary works that were there too. And there's so much to see. It's wonderful that they're free museums. We don't have that as much in the US, so it's really a special thing that Glasgow offers. I've had the opportunity from soon after I graduated from college to be connected with the alumni network of the university, and it's been a wonderful thing to carry on some Scottish traditions and have them take place in Chicago. I really would encourage international students to consider the University of Glasgow, because the course offerings are extensive. There's a lot of opportunity to study with really wonderful professors. The campus is beautiful. You just sort of get something every day by being in these beautiful spaces and historic buildings. The city itself is a fabulous place to be a student.